Hello everyone, I'm Tin Bejar of by Tin B, and welcome to my Wildflowers workshop series in partnership with Strathmore Paper. For this class, we'll paint cheerful yellow and white daffodils using the glazing technique. Painting white florals in watercolor can feel a bit overwhelming, but this class will guide you through using soft grays and subtle details to create gentle transitions and delicate petal textures. Perfect for capturing the light, airy feel of the springtime blooms. Here's what you'll need to get started with this class. For the paper, I'm using Strathmore Red Cut watercolor paper in cold pressed. And for the paints, I'm using my MaimeriBlu watercolors. For the brushes, I'll be using a variety of Princeton round brushes along with mini detailers for finer work. Prepare other painting materials like a ceramic palette for preparing washes and mixing colors, and probably 2 cups of water, one for rinsing the brushes and one with clean water. And lastly, a tissue or a paper towel for controlling water and blotting your brush. Start by carefully sketching your daffodils on the watercolor paper. Make sure that the outlines are light and simple. I'm starting by painting the centers of the daffodils with a tea-like mixture of yellow. This will give us a soft transparent base to build on later. While the centers dry, I'll move on to the leaves. I'm using Hooker's green to paint them. This rich green will give a nice contrast to the soft yellow of the flowers. For the leaves, I'm using the graded wash technique. I'll start with a cream-like mixture of Hooker's green for a deeper, richer color at the base of the leaves. Then, I'll slowly blend it with clean water, gradually lightening the color as I move toward the tips of the leaves. This technique will create a smooth gradient and a natural dimensional look. As I paint the leaves, I'm going to leave out a thin line down the center of each one to represent the vein. This will add more structure and realism to the leaves. I'll apply the same technique to the other leaves, ensuring that each one has that subtle gradient and vein detail. For the stems, I'll use a milk-like mixture of Hooker's green, 50% pigment and 50% water. This consistency will give a nice soft color to the stems without overpowering the rest of the painting. Now let's focus on the daffodil petals. I'm going to mix a milk-like consistency of a soft gray, and this will be the mid-tone of our petals. I'll gently paint some sections of the petals with this gray, leaving out some areas untouched to act as our highlights. These white spaces will give the flower a nice glow and help emphasize the delicate texture of the petals. Next, I'm going to mix a cream-like consistency of Vandyke Brown, and with this, I'll paint soft outlines around the center of the daffodils to give some definition and texture. These gentle outlines will add depth to the flower while maintaining the light and airy feel for the overall illustration. While waiting for the previous layer to dry, I'm going to add some shadows and outlines to the daffodils using dark gray. I'll start by painting thin shadows in the areas where the petals are overlapping. These shadows will help define the petal shapes and create depth in the flower. Next, I'll use the dark gray to paint thin, broken lines along the edges of the petals. This will give the daffodils clean outlines and structure. And finally, I'll add some thin streaks following the direction of the petals to give them texture and show the delicate lines that run through each petal. Now that everything is dry and detailed, I'll gently erase any remaining pencil marks with an eraser to clean up the artwork. This will leave us with a beautiful finished daffodil painting. And that's it! We've completed our yellow and white daffodils using the glazing technique. Thank you for painting along with me, and I'll see you in my next video.